Hello, and welcome to the second update video for Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition. In this video, we will go over the newly released version 1.0.3 of the Enhanced Edition Essential Files. The Enhanced Edition Essential Files is a package containing specific game file fixes that improve visuals for certain areas of the game. For example, .cam files will adjust the camera positioning to better accommodate widescreen aspect ratios, and .map files will adjust textures and geometry for environments to fix bugs or add visual polish. To get the newest version of the Enhanced Edition Essential Files, simply go to the Enhanced Edition installation guide and download the package from the appropriate step. A link to this download is also included in the video description below. Once downloaded, move the files to your game's installation directory, replacing any files and folders if prompted. And that's it! You have successfully updated to version 1.0.3 of the Essential Files. So to start, with the newest version of the Essential Files, we have fixed black levels and texture stretching in the hospital room where you fight the flesh lips. The topmost part of the ceiling was not true black, which is more noticeable when playing on LCD screens, and there was bad texture stretching leading up to the black areas of the ceiling. These issues affect all other versions of the game. Additionally, we darken the hallway behind James when he enters this room, because it doesn't make much sense for the hallway to become mysteriously bright moments after it was nearly pitch black. We adjusted a .cam file for the infamous dirty toilet apartment bathroom, so the camera no longer shows the other side of this wall while playing in a 16:9 aspect ratio. Bad UV placements for one of the lampshades in Blue Creek Apartment Room 109 has also been fixed. This issue affects all other versions of the game. The Line Figures texture file has been adjusted to restore its original colorings. The hole at the prison's front entrance has been blackened out at the bottom. Before, there was a dirt texture about 3 meters below the hatch, and when James jumps through this hole during the cutscene, you can see him phasing through the dirt texture as he falls. We blackened the hole to make it look like a true hole. This issue affects all other versions of the game. We made an all-new texture for the low health Red Cross indicator. The original Red Cross was larger in size, was reddish-orange in color, and used a tinted graphic of Laura sitting on the wall as its background image. We have now reduced its size, made it crimson red, and replaced the background image with a nicer, generalized grunge texture. We blended the wall texture where it meets the ground during the beginning trek of the game, right before going through the gate under the bridge. There was no longer a perfectly straight dark line where the wall and floor textures meet. This affects all other versions of the game. We have shortened the piston tube next to the door that Angela opens in the flesh room, so now, whenever she opens the door, you no longer see the tube. However, for right now, you will still be able to see the movable piston when she opens the door. In a future update, we will also hide the piston during this part. The PlayStation 2 version shows the exposed piston and tube when she opens the door. The Xbox and PC versions placed a large, solid black box around this part when she opens the door. Our fix will fully hide this issue without having to use the solid black box. We fixed texture stretching for the hole you go down immediately after using the wire cutters in the labyrinth. This issue affects all other versions of the game. The foggy windows in the hotel's restaurant have been darkened to better match the PlayStation 2 version. The mileage for Brams at the beginning tunnel has been changed from 265 miles away to 26.5. This change was done based on comments from Silent Hill veteran Thomas the Adversary. Thomas is pretty much renowned for his encyclopedic knowledge of events and time periods for Silent Hill's history. In fact, he's made a timeline for the series that even developers themselves have used. Thomas has mentioned years ago that the mileage for Brams is incorrect and should be 26.5. Going off his extremely reputable knowledge, the sign has been updated accordingly. Brookhaven Hospital now reads as Brookhaven Hospital above its outside main entrance. This issue affects all other versions of the game. The staircase that's on fire in the alternate hotel has been color corrected to better match the PlayStation 2 version. We adjusted a .cam file for the observation deck, so now, if you stand in this spot and look up, you will no longer see the edge of the Toluca Lake background geometry when playing in a 16:9 aspect ratio. The Toluca Lake background image has been completely redone. The reason for this is that the original texture file has a lot of visual issues going on with it, so many issues that it was easier to simply remake the image from scratch. If we look at the original texture, you can see a lot of image seams, mirrored imagery, and splotchy clone stamping. You can also see these issues while playing normally in-game. The Toluca Lake image is based off a real-life location, Derwent Water in Keswick, England, to be exact. With this knowledge, we purchased photography of Derwent Water to use when remaking the Toluca Lake image. 100% of the imagery and assets you see in the new Toluca Lake image were used from photography of this real lake to keep it as authentic as possible. Now, there are no longer any obvious Photoshop errors with the image, but the image still stays true in spirit to the original. And don't worry about the bottom portion of the new Toluca Lake image, as you never see any of this while in-game. The bottom part was simply created to make the whole texture file look a little nicer, even though you never see it. The red regions shown here are the only areas you'd ever see while playing. Continuing directly from this, the 3D and 2D trees, along with the Toluca Lake background image itself, have been darkened to better match the PlayStation 2 version. The overall levels for the begin and bathroom segment have also been darkened to better match the PlayStation 2 version. Geometry data has been added to the other side of the apartment clock hole. Before, there was simply a black void where the wall should be. This void was rather noticeable on LCD screens in particular. Now, with wall geometry added back in, this area has full continuity for the other side. This issue affects all other versions of the game. The geometry around the elevator door that James and Maria run to has been adjusted to greatly alleviate the flickering that would otherwise be seen during this cutscene. This issue affects other versions of the game. A power and extension cord has been added to the refrigerator in the alternate hospital. The refrigerator is receiving power as the inside lights up whenever James and Maria open it. As such, a power cord has been added to give electrical continuity to this fridge. The bedroom visuals for the leave ending have been properly restored. Bad vertex normals for the floor and walls geometry caused rendering issues which blackened out these areas. With the vertex normals properly adjusted, these areas now look as they should. Bad vertex normal data also negatively affected the carpet and the door on the coin puzzle furniture for Blue Creek Apartment Room 105. When looking at these geometry pieces at certain angles with your flashlight, they would appear partially blackened out. With the vertex normals properly adjusted, these areas now render as they should. This issue also affects the Xbox version of the game. And that about wraps it up for what's new with version 1.0.3 of the Enhanced Edition Essential Files. This update is now available to download for you to experience these improvements for yourself. The link for this download will be in the video description below. In the meantime, the Enhanced Edition team hopes you enjoy the newest update to the Enhanced Edition Essential Files. And until the next video update, we'll see you around in the foggy town of Silent Hill.